Here's an amp that I've demoed on the channel before, the Marshall 2210 JCM800, which is the split channel sibling to the classic 2203, 2204. I'm going to put it down. As you may have been able to hear there, it's also got reverb and an effects loop. This is the intermediary between the classic JCM800 2203 and what came later with the JCM900. It's not a bad sounding Marshall. I don't mind it at all. But it's definitely not my favorite sounding Marshall of all time. So I just reviewed Nembrini Audio's BST100 plugin, and they've got a plugin out, the MRH810, which is based around this amp, and I want to check it out, and I want to see if I can get it to sound better than this amp, which, spoiler alert, I think it actually does in some respects. So let's check it out. Okay, let's take a quick look at the interface. Much like the real amplifier, we've got two channels. A clean channel, which features a bass and a treble control, as well as volume for the channel, and a lead channel, which has 3-band EQ, a volume, and a gain control. Then the master section, which features presence, an overall master volume, and a reverb control, which is quite nice. There's also a cabinet section up here. You can choose between the built-in cabinet loader, which lets you select different microphones with different positions and mix them together, as well as a noise gate and an input level control, which is a nice touch. But what I really like are the built-in impulses. There is a chop tones impulse down here, which I believe is this one here, based around a Brit 1960 G12M with a 58 and a 121. That is the IR I'm going to go with. Let's have a listen to the lead channel. I'm on the bridge pickup of a Les Paul with everything pretty much at noon. Well, the volume's at 6, but we'll leave it there. Let's try it. That sounds pretty good for lower gain kind of stuff with all the controls at noon. Let's see how much gain this thing has. This has a definite Michael Schenker vibe going on to me. One thing that I notice about the real amp that I own compared to like a classic 2203 is that it is a lot more of a smoother sounding amp when you distort it. And you can hear that with the gain control here once you get it to about 3 o'clock. It almost sounds like a JCM800 2203 with like a tube screamer or a rat in front of it already. Let's just play around with the different volume controls, because the master, if I set that low but set the channel all the way up, let's have a listen to what that does. And let's compare that to the opposite setting. So that's got more of the classic JCM800 thing going on. It looks like this control is more of the power amp volume. So you can hear that as you turn the gain control up, what's going on with the amp is it's adding a lot of low end, so I'd probably pull bass out as I turn the gain up. And that is sounding pretty cool altogether. So that is with basically this master volume pushed a little bit rather than the channel volume. Let's have a listen to the clean channel. I didn't really care for the clean channel on the real amp. I'll just kind of turn the bass down and the treble up because I imagine it's going to be pretty Fendery. I apologize about the sloppy playing, but that sounds way better than the amp I own. Maybe there's something wrong with my amp, or maybe this just sounds really good. That's a pretty usable clean tone, especially if you were doing, I guess a lot of people would probably be interested in this amp because they're into like new wave of British heavy metal or like classic thrash stuff. So for doing kind of cleaner intros, I think it's pretty cool on the neck pickup. It is a little bit bright there, so I might bring the treble down even more. I don't mind that at all. The reverb doesn't sound like a spring reverb though. Maybe it does. It doesn't really have that kind of drip going on with it. It's, yeah, you know, when you do this kind of thing. And one thing that I definitely remember about the real amp is the reverb tank. It's got a big spring in it, always carrying it and hearing it clank around. So if you wanted to chuck a lead sound onto this kind of thing, let's try that. What I would probably do is really push the mids and bring the treble control back a little bit. So you get this. Which is a really nice, smooth kind of lead sound, not what you probably associate with a JCM800. And the final thing I want to try is to try to get like a thrashy sound out of it. So I'm going to go extreme. We'll pull the mids right out, and we'll smash the treble, smash the gain. I'll bring the master back a little bit as well and give it plenty of presence to make up for the fact I've got no mids in there. Whether that's your cup of tea or not, I guess you will have to try. You can try this for free, as with most plugins, they do offer a demo on there, and it's also currently $29 at the moment. I really like what Nembrini are doing. They've got 2 guitar plugins out at the moment. I was really, really impressed with the BST100. That is an amazing sounding plugin, and I will have to give them props for this one as well, because it sounds the way I remember my 2210 sounding But the clean channel sounds way better, and you can crank it up without bothering your neighbors. There's a great selection of built-in cabs and cab IRs as well. And of course, you can load your own IRs in there. And the reverb sounds very useful. One thing I wish this plugin did have was like a global high and low cut. I think that would make it a little bit more functional. And it would be cool to see like some of the UAD plugins that come with delay built in as well, because I'm sure a lot of people want to be able to plug into this and just kind of riff away and crank the gain up and have a little bit of built-in delay or something like that. So it would be cool to see in the future if Nembrini do add some built-in effects to their amp modeling plugins. But at the moment, for $29, if you want the sound of a Marshall 2210 in your DAW, it is really hard to go wrong. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.